The baby news is real, but the bigger story is how long Alex Cooper and Matt Kaplan seem to have been building toward this moment. For months, there were headlines about tension, staff drama, and pressure around their business. Then came a simple post on May 17th saying everything had changed. Alex Cooper announced she is pregnant with her first child with husband Matt Kaplan. She shared the news on Instagram with photos of the couple sitting together and holding her baby bump. Vogue reported the announcement on May 17, 2026, noting that the post was captioned, "Our family," and came just days after the pair appeared together at YouTube's TV Upfront event. That post landed less than a year after Cooper spoke publicly about preparing their home for parenthood. So this was not a sudden twist. It looks more like a plan finally coming together. According to the Realtor article, the couple had already been reshaping their Los Angeles home with kids in mind. They were thinking about nursery space and future bedrooms before the public announcement arrived. That matters because celebrity pregnancy stories often feel like lightning. This one feels more like remodeling a house. Room by room, decision by decision, then suddenly everyone sees the result. The article says Cooper and Kaplan bought their Studio City property in 2022 for about $10.7 million. Realtor has separately described the home as sitting on roughly 1.5 acres, underscoring that this was always a property with room to evolve. Architectural Digest previously featured the home after a major renovation, describing it as a 1930s colonial revival ranch that had been heavily altered before Cooper and Kaplan brought in designer Lindsay Bolton. The goal was to make it calmer, softer, and more livable. Cooper told Architectural Digest the house was not our style whatsoever, which helps explain why they treated it less like a finished dream house and more like a blank slate. That blank canvas idea helps explain why the house keeps showing up in their story. It was not just a purchase. It became the setting for reinvention, commitment, and now a coming family chapter. And the home has already served as a milestone backdrop more than once. Vogue's wedding coverage says Kaplan proposed there after arranging what Cooper thought was a normal photo shoot day. In other words, the same property has now framed the proposal, the renovation, the marriage era, and now the pregnancy era. That same home now carries a different meaning. What began as a celebrity real estate project is being reframed as the place where they may raise their first child. One of the most revealing parts of the Realtor piece is that Cooper had spoken openly about hesitation. In a 2025 podcast episode, she said they had started trying earlier. She also said the pace of that plan began to overwhelm her. She described anxiety, doubt, and the feeling that time and expectations were moving faster than her own instincts. That part is worth slowing down for. Public baby announcements usually skip the uncertainty. Cooper's comments suggest this decision was emotional, uneven, and shaped by timing as much as desire. And that hesitation fits broader medical guidance better than people might think. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists recently described pregnancy options counseling as a person-centered process. That guidance includes a patient's values, concerns, and even ambivalence. In other words, mixed feelings are not outside the process. They can be part of it. The broader public health context points in the same direction. CDC guidance on infertility says many couples who struggle to conceive do eventually have children, sometimes with medical help. It also notes that fertility concerns often come with stress and uncertainty rather than a simple yes or no timeline. There is another layer here. Vogue reported that Cooper had previously discussed fears about fertility after an earlier HPV diagnosis, and said Kaplan was supportive when she opened up about it. Vogue also reported that Cooper later said she underwent treatment and tested negative 6 months afterward. That does not mean HPV automatically causes infertility. CDC guidance says most HPV infections clear on their own, and treatment is generally aimed at visible warts or precancerous lesions rather than the virus itself. But the agency also notes that some cervical precancers, cancers, or the procedures used to treat them can sometimes affect a person's ability to get pregnant or carry a pregnancy. Still, fear around fertility can shape how people experience family planning. Even when outcomes turn out well, the emotional weight can linger long before any pregnancy announcement becomes public. That helps explain why Cooper's recent news is being read as more than celebrity gossip. It touches career timing, health anxiety, marriage, and the private negotiations that happen before a family expands. The timing also follows a rougher media cycle. Bloomberg reported on April 22, 2026, that Unwell had held an all-hands meeting amid concerns about show launches, employee retention, and complaints about Kaplan's behavior. At the same time, gossip about strain in their marriage had been circulating. Against that backdrop, the pregnancy reveal did more than generate congratulations. It shifted the public frame around the couple almost overnight, moving attention away from business tension and back toward home, marriage, and family planning. That does not erase workplace questions, and it should not. But it does explain why the pregnancy reveal hit with extra force. It interrupted a narrative that had been leaning heavily negative. It also reminds us how celebrity coverage compresses everything. A business controversy, a marriage rumor, a home renovation, and a pregnancy can all collapse into one fast-moving public storyline. Now, the central image is much simpler. A couple in their home orbit, after years of renovation, commitment, and hesitation, saying they are ready for what comes next. So yes, the headline is that Alex Cooper is pregnant, but the deeper story is about preparation, second thoughts, and a very public life trying to make room for a private decision. The house mattered, the timing mattered, the doubts mattered, and that may be why this announcement feels bigger than one post. It sounds like the end of suspense and the start of a new build.